Breaking news. Putin loses entire brigade, as Moscow suffers devastating losses in the latest battle. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky claimed painful losses for the Russian military during their latest offensive in the destroyed city of Avdiivka. According to the White House, this comes as news spreads that Putin's troops have been executed for retreating from the offensive in the eastern city of Donetsk. White House spokesman John Kirby said at a Thursday press briefing, "We have information that the Russian military has been actually executing soldiers who refuse to follow orders." Since mid-October, Ukrainian forces in Donetsk have spent weeks on the front lines fending off the Russian assault. Zelensky told Rishi Sunak that the invaders had tried to encircle Avdiivka multiple times, but that each time, our soldiers stopped them and threw them back, causing painful losses. The enemy usually lost a brigade or more in these situations. Russian forces have been relying on small assault groups of 30 to 40 men, but a spokesman for Ukraine's southern groups of forces, Alexander Stupin, said last week that they were suffering over 400 casualties a day. The United States condemns the execution of its own soldiers as barbaric. Putin sends more troops to the front despite the offensive's lack of success. Russia can expect North Korea to be a significant supplier of weapons. Russia conducts a test of its nuclear strike capability. The Khmelnytsky region's nuclear power plant was probably the target of a Russian drone strike. Putin ally warns that Moscow will seize EU assets if Brussels steals frozen Russian funds. On Sunday, a close ally of Russian President Vladimir Putin warned that if the European Union steals frozen Russian funds in an effort to fund Ukraine, Russia would confiscate the assets of EU states it deems unfriendly. On Friday, European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen said that the EU executive was working on a proposal to pool some of the profits derived from frozen Russian state assets to aid Ukraine and its post-war reconstruction. Vyacheslav Volodin, chairman of the State Duma and a close Putin ally, released a statement on the messaging app Telegram in which he claimed that a number of European politicians, led by the President of the European Commission Ursula von der Leyen, have once again started talking about stealing our country's frozen funds in order to continue the militarization of Kyiv. The Russian Federation would have to respond in kind to such a decision. Our European funds will remain frozen, but the assets of unfriendly countries will be seized at a much greater rate, he said. Ukraine's Air Force claimed on Sunday that it had successfully shot down 5 Russian-launched exploding drones made in Iran by the Shahed brand. In the city of Siversk, in the partially occupied Donetsk province, 4 police officers were injured when a shell fired by Russian troops exploded by their police car near the front line in the country's east, where Ukrainian and Russian forces are locked in a grinding battle for control. Continued, heavy but inconclusive, fighting around the town of Avdiivka, also in the Donetsk province, was blamed by British intelligence this weekend for some of Russia's highest casualty rates so far this year.